Johnny Unitas revolutionized how the quarterback position was being played and showed everyone just how pivotal they were to the game. Joe Montana was a beast who didn't falter under pressure. Drew Brees had pinpoint accuracy that helped him shatter almost every passing record. Peyton Manning's football mastery was so refined that he was prepared for every element of the game. But there was one man above them all. That man was Tom Brady.
I don't believe there's an equipment manager in the NFL that would, on his own initiative, deflate a ball without the starting quarterback's approval. I just didn't believe what Tom Brady had to say.
What they did was suspend Tom Brady for 4 days for not giving them his cell phone. And for having a friend who called himself the Deflator. You want to give a guy, because he doesn't give you his cell phone, a punishment?
And there definitely was one key factor that made Tom Brady greater than all the rest of them. Stick around until the end of the video to find out what it is. Tom Brady wasn't so physically gifted for an athlete of his caliber. He had a shape that was just fit enough to make sure he didn't lag on the field. To be at the top of his game, he complemented his average physique by having a perfect catch and good eye to spot the perfect place for a throw. And this helped him to win 7 Super Bowl championships, get the record for the highest career touchdown passes at 649, the highest career completions at 7,753, the highest career passing yards at 89,214, to be the only NFL quarterback to make 2 all-decade teams, the only quarterback to win a Super Bowl in 3 separate decades, and the NFL's top player to rack up the most Super Bowl MVP awards and the Super Bowl MVP for 2 separate franchises. Tom Brady has certainly been busy for his whole career. However, what sets him apart from the others, and why is he rated so high in the books of almost everybody? We're going to dig into why there will never be another Tom Brady. Born on August 3rd, 1977, Tom Brady was the only son and the 4th child of the Brady family. At an early age, he was indoctrinated into the religion of Catholicism and football. He was at almost every San Francisco 49ers game and was a huge fan of quarterback Joe Montana. Joe Montana was one of the best to ever do it, and Tom Brady just couldn't help but idolize him. When Brady was all but 4 years of age, he witnessed the iconic catch Montana threw to Dwight Clark, and in Tom Brady's little mind, an obsession for football began. He started playing football in high school, but he accompanied this with basketball and baseball. Although little Brady loved football, it didn't love him back, and he wasn't even good enough to make the struggling junior varsity team. He only got on the team when the starting QB was injured and he was striving to at least be noticed. In his effort to get the attention of college coaches, he would send them highlight tapes, and after doing this for a while, he finally caught their attention. Though Tom Brady wasn't looking much in their direction, some MLB scouts were looking at him. They noticed his impressive catching skills and drafted him in the 18th round of the 1995 MLB draft. Happy with his great catch, Tom Brady was projected to become one of the greatest catchers ever. But when the Michigan train came along, Brady abandoned baseball and went with his first love. However, things didn't go as he hoped in college. He was 7th on the depth chart and was struggling to get some playing time. Overwhelmed with feelings of anxiety and frustration, he considered transferring to California and had to get a sports psychologist to help him battle these feelings. Assistant director Greg Harden later worked with him to build his confidence. He was pretty much red-shirted in his first 2 years, and when he finally got to play in the 4th quarter of the 4th game in the 1996 season against the UCLA Bruins, his very first pass was intercepted by Philip Ward and turned around for a 42-yard touchdown. But here's the crazy thing. He got better. A lot better. During the 1998 and 1999 seasons, he fought tooth and nail to be the starting QB against Drew Henson. And in his first full season as Michigan's starter, Brady lit it up, smashing school records with 214 pass attempts and completions. Even in a tough 31-16 loss to Ohio State, he set the record for most completions in a game. But he didn't stop there. Michigan shared the Big Ten title that year, and Brady closed the season in style with a 45-31 win over Arkansas in the Citrus Bowl. In his final year at Michigan, Brady delivered when it mattered most, leading the Wolverines to a comeback win over Ohio State that punched their ticket to the Orange Bowl. He already had the Citrus Bowl win under his belt from '99, and he added the Orange Bowl victory in 2000. In all, he finished his college career with 4,773 passing yards and 30 TDs. At this point, Brady wasn't blowing up the stat sheets. He just wasn't a flashy guy. But when the pressure was on, he delivered clutch come-from-behind wins that had scouts taking notice. Performing under pressure isn't something you can teach people. They're either born with it or they aren't, and it seemed like Brady was born with it. But then came the 2000 NFL Combine, and let's just say it wasn't pretty. Tom Brady's 5.28 40-yard dash, one of the slowest, his vertical jump, broad jump, 3-cone, and shuffle times, all ranking near the bottom for quarterbacks in the Combine history. So what was the deal with Brady? It wasn't the speed or the cannon arm. It was the intangibles, the leadership, the football IQ, and that legendary work ethic. Still, most teams weren't convinced. Well, except for one guy, Bill Belichick. Surprised that Tom Brady was still hanging around late in the draft, Belichick saw something in him that others didn't, and snagged him with the 199th overall pick in the 6th round. Brady was the 7th QB drafted that year. Chad Pennington won 18th overall, and guys like Giovanni Carmazzi, Chris Redman, T. Martin, Mark Bulger, and Spurgeon Wynn were all taken before him. Although Pennington and Bulger went on to pass for over 15,000 yards each, the rest could barely accumulate 5,000 yards combined. Meanwhile, Brady got more passing yards, touchdowns, and games started than the entire quarterback class put together. Brady spent most of his rookie season in 2000 watching from the sidelines as the Patriots leaned on their Pro Bowl quarterback, Drew Bledsoe. He only got into one game that year, completing 1 of 3 passes for 6 yards in a 34-9 blowout loss to the Lions. Fast forward to 2001, and Tom Brady was still Bledsoe's backup until fate stepped in. In the second game of the season, Jets linebacker Mo Lewis delivered a hit that sidelined Bledsoe, and Brady stepped in for the final series, completing 5 of 10 passes for 46 yards in a 10-3 loss to the Jets. But that was just the beginning. Brady took over the starting job and made his first NFL start on September 30th, 2001 against none other than Peyton Manning and the Colts. Brady didn't light up the stat sheet that day, completing 13 of 23 passes for 168 yards with no TDs or picks, but the Patriots steamrolled the Colts 44-13. Brady wouldn't throw his first career touchdown pass until October 14th when he racked up a then career-high 364 passing yards and 2 TDs. Brady went on to lead the Patriots to an 11-5 record after an 0-2 start, finishing his first season as a starter with 2,843 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. Brady's career was packed with success, but it wasn't without controversy. One of the first major moments came in his very first playoff game against the Raiders. Late in the fourth quarter, Brady appeared to fumble the ball, which was recovered by Charles Woodson. But the infamous tuck rule came into play. The rule stated that if a quarterback starts a throwing motion and loses possession while bringing the ball back, it's ruled an incomplete pass, not a fumble. So instead of the Raiders sealing the game win, the officials gave the ball back to New England. With just 32 seconds left, the Patriots kicked a game-tying field goal to send the game to overtime. In surprising controversy, Oakland decided to kneel and let the clock run out. Then in overtime, the Patriots won the coin toss, marched down the field, and Adam Vinatieri drilled a walk-off field goal to give Brady his first playoff win. Unfortunately, Brady went down with a knee injury in the AFC Championship game against the Steelers, so Bledsoe stepped back into the game to secure the Patriots' ticket to the Super Bowl. But when Super Bowl 36 rolled around, it was Brady back under center against the heavily favored Rams, still known as the greatest show on turf. With stars like Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, Orlando Pace, and Isaac Bruce, the Steelers were stacked. Even so, the Patriots jumped out to a 17-3 lead before Warner led a furious Rams comeback to tie the game with 1:30 left in regulation. Instead of playing it safe for overtime, Brady coolly completed 5 of 8 passes to drive the Patriots 53 yards down the field, setting up Adam Vinatieri for a 48-yard game-winning field goal as time expired. That clutch drive earned Brady his first Super Bowl ring, and the legend was just getting started. To kick off the 2002 season, Bledsoe was traded to the Bills, officially making Brady the undisputed starter for the Patriots, a role he would never have to fight for again. This season wasn't spectacular in any way, but Brady made up for it with crazy back-to-back Super Bowl wins in the subsequent seasons. In 2003, he led the Patriots to a dominant 14-2 record, securing the AFC's top seed and finishing third in MVP voting. In the playoffs, New England edged out the Titans in a gritty divisional round, then knocked off Peyton Manning and the Colts in the AFC Championship, setting up a Super Bowl showdown with the Carolina Panthers. Carolina wasn't going down easy. They tied it up at 29 with just 1:13 left on the clock. Then, a critical mistake. The kickoff goes out of bounds. Brady and Vinatieri work up magic with just seconds on the timer to get another ring. Brady was a monster that night. 354 yards, 3 touchdowns, just 1 pick. They were getting burned by Carolina's big defense, but Brady answered every time. The following season was like deja vu. Brady was back at it, leading the Patriots to another 14-2 record, best in the AFC. He took down the Colts in the playoffs, then rolled over the Steelers 41-27 in the AFC Championship to punch New England's ticket to yet another Super Bowl. This time they faced off against Donovan McNabb and the Eagles. It was a back and forth battle, both teams trading blows until the Pats broke the tie with a touchdown to start the fourth quarter. After halftime, the Pats scored on 3 of their first 4 drives, and a lot of that came down to Brady's efficiency. That was all they needed to outlast Andy Reid, McNabb, and the Eagles, who just flat out ran out of time trying to stage a comeback. The streak broke after 2 seasons, and the Pats hit a roadblock in 2005. Brady had his first 4,000-yard season, but the playoff magic fizzled out. Then, in 2006, it was Peyton Manning's time to shine. The Patriots got past the Jets and the Chargers in the wild card and divisional rounds, but things went south at the conference championship. Manning won his first Super Bowl and added even more fuel to the Brady-Manning rivalry as the AFC's top dogs. Brady had the rings and 3 Pro Bowl nods, but he didn't have that monster statistical season until 2007. That's when Brady and the Patriots turned into an absolute offensive juggernaut. At age 30, Brady shattered records, tossing 50 touchdown passes with a ridiculous 50-8 TD to INT ratio. He racked up 4,806 passing yards and posted a 117.2 passer rating, earning his first MVP trophy. The Patriots didn't just win, they dominated, outscoring opponents by a mind-blowing 315 points, an all-time record, with a 16-0 scoreboard. In the AFC playoffs, the Jaguars and Chargers were no match as the Patriots stormed back to the Super Bowl for the first time since 2005. Everything seemed lined up for that perfect 19-0 season. That is, until Eli Manning and the underdog Giants showed up. With another Manning obstacle, Brady lost the Super Bowl. For the 2008 season, the Patriots were without their star QB as he tore his ligaments in the opening game against the Chiefs. The strides Brady made during his record-breaking 2007 season set the stage for the rest of his legendary career. In his 20s, he never threw for more than 28 touchdowns and consistently dealt with double-digit interceptions, completing passes at around a 61% clip. But when he returned in 2009 after that tough injury, it was a whole new ballgame. Brady came back with a vengeance, showcasing incredible accuracy and significantly better stats. In his first season back, he completed 65.7% of his passes, throwing for 28 touchdowns, 4,398 yards, and just 13 interceptions. Unfortunately, the playoffs were a tough break for him that year as he lost his first playoff game at home. Then, in 2010, Brady snagged his second MVP award. He completed 65.9% of his passes for 3,900 yards, racking up 36 touchdowns and just 4 interceptions. But once again, the playoffs ended too soon for Brady. Brady's numbers kept soaring in 2011, marking a phenomenal season where he passed for a staggering 5,235 yards, his first of two 5,000-yard passing seasons. He threw 39 touchdowns and only 12 interceptions, proving he was still in his prime. The Patriots earned another first-round bye, then demolished the Broncos 45-10 before narrowly edging out the Ravens 23-20 in the AFC Championship. When it came to the Super Bowl, New England was once again favored against Eli Manning and the Giants. The Patriots even jumped out to a solid 17-9 lead at one point. But just like before, the Giants wouldn't go down without a fight. They scored 12 unanswered points, capped off by an Ahmed Bradshaw touchdown run with just 57 seconds left, putting New York ahead 21-17. That would be the final score, as the Giants pulled off another stunning upset against Brady and the Patriots. Brady kept rolling with the Patriots, racking up 2 straight 4,000-yard seasons in 2012 and 2013. But despite his impressive numbers, the Pats fell short of the Super Bowl, losing in back-to-back AFC title games, first to the Ravens and then to Peyton Manning and the Broncos. But 2014 was a different story. Brady was back on top of the NFL world. The Pats secured a first-round bye in the playoffs and kicked things off by taking down the Ravens in a wild card round. They then absolutely crushed the Colts 45-7 in the AFC Championship. The Patriots marched into Super Bowl 49 ready to face off against the reigning champion Seahawks. Seattle took a 24-14 lead in the fourth quarter, but Brady wasn't done yet. He tossed 2 touchdown passes, one to Danny Amendola and another to Julian Edelman, the latter coming up with just 2:02 left on the clock, putting the Patriots ahead. With just seconds left on the clock, the game was turned in their favor and Brady earned his 4th ring. But during the offseason, a bombshell report dropped suggesting that the Pats had been deflating footballs to give Brady a better grip when he threw. The league launched an investigation and found that Brady was at least aware of the deflation, leading to a hefty 4-game suspension for him. Of course, Brady and the NFLPA appealed the decision, but the league stood firm, upholding the suspension.
Maybe it's funny, lovely sex messages from his wife. Maybe it's just friendly messages from his wife. Maybe Tom Brady's so classy and such a gentleman that he doesn't want people to know that he may have reflected on his real opinion of some of his co-workers.
But just when it looked like the suspension was going to stick, a judge stepped in and vacated it, allowing Brady to play throughout the 2015 season. Kinda makes you wonder if anything fishy was going on behind the scenes.
Week after week, month after month, they not even gonna know they being robbed. And then 20, 30 years later, we walk out the front door like nothing even happened.
But the NFL wasn't done with Brady and Deflategate just yet. On April 25, 2016, the vacation of Brady's suspension was overturned, and after attempts to appeal it, he ultimately accepted a 4-game suspension. He missed the first 4 regular season games, during which the Pats managed to go 3-1. When Brady returned, he came back with a vengeance. He led the team to an incredible 11-1 finish, passing for 3,554 yards, throwing 28 touchdowns and just 2 interceptions, all while posting a career-best 67.4% completion rate. Despite missing those first 4 games, he finished second in MVP voting for the 2nd consecutive year. Brady's postseason was nothing short of legendary. He threw for 1,137 yards, racked up 7 touchdowns, and only had 3 interceptions as New England made their way back to the Super Bowl. In the big game, they faced off against the Atlanta Falcons. The Pats famously fell behind 28-3, but Brady led an epic comeback, scoring 25 unanswered points to tie the game. After winning the coin toss in overtime, Brady went to work, marching the team down the field until James White capped it off with a game-winning 2-yard rush. Brady was back in peak form during the 2017 season, leading the Pats to an impressive 13-3 finish. He lit up the field, throwing for 4,577 yards, 32 touchdowns, and only 8 interceptions. His stellar performance earned him his 3rd MVP selection, and he also notched his 187th career win, setting the record for the most regular season victories by an NFL quarterback. Once again, the Pats found themselves in the Super Bowl after taking down the Titans and Jaguars in the AFC playoffs. In a thrilling matchup, Brady set a new Super Bowl record with 505 passing yards. However, Despite this incredible performance, he shockingly fell short against Nick Foles and the Eagles. But the Patriots weren't done with Brady just yet. They wrapped up the 2018 season with an 11-5 record and skipped right past the first round of the playoffs. In the divisional round, they took down the Chargers 41-28. Then, in a thrilling showdown, Brady outdueled Patrick Mahomes for the first time, clinching a dramatic 37-31 overtime victory. With that, New England was back in the Super Bowl and earned a win that delivered Brady his 6th Super Bowl ring. This win not only tied the Patriots with the Steelers for the most Super Bowl victories in NFL history, but also made Brady the only player with 6 rings. Coming off that Super Bowl victory, the Patriots didn't waste any time locking down their star quarterback, signing Brady to a 2-year extension with an option to opt out after the 2019 season. Brady posted incredible numbers again, but didn't make it to the Super Bowl that season. Then, on March 17, 2020, in a move that shocked the football world, Brady announced he was leaving New England for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Tom Brady just posting an announcement on Twitter, 2 of them, that he is leaving the New England Patriots.
Brady's decision to leave New England sparked an intense debate about whether the Patriots dynasty was more about their star quarterback or the legendary coach. But if 2020 was any indication, Brady clearly won the argument. He was a force for the Buccaneers, leading them to the playoffs with a jaw-dropping performance, 40 touchdown passes, just 12 interceptions, and 4,633 passing yards. At 43 years old, he also became the oldest quarterback ever to throw for 5 touchdowns in a single game. Throughout the season, Brady and Drew Brees battled it out for the all-time passing touchdown record, but Brady finished strong with 581 touchdowns compared to Brees' 571, moving him ahead on the list. While the Saints took home the division title, Tampa Bay had the last laugh. In a thrilling showdown in the divisional round, Brady eliminated Brees and the Saints with a 30-20 victory, the last time these 2 future Hall of Famers would face off. The Buccaneers then took on Aaron Rodgers and the Packers in the NFC Championship, emerging victorious to secure a spot in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. And once again, Brady proved he still had it, passing for 3 touchdowns and leading Tampa Bay to a stunning 31-9 victory, clinching the franchise's 2nd Super Bowl title. With this win, Brady became the first quarterback to win Super Bowl MVP with multiple teams, and the 4th overall to capture a Super Bowl with more than one team, extending his legendary record to an incredible 7 rings. After the 2020 season, Drew Brees announced his retirement, solidifying the passing touchdowns record for Brady and opening the door for him to catch up in passing yards as well. In a poetic twist during Week 4, Brady surpassed Brees in passing yards while leading the Buccaneers to a narrow 19-17 victory over his former team, the New England Patriots. This win also marked a milestone for Brady, making him just the 4th quarterback in NFL history to defeat all 32 teams in the league. Brady's 2021 regular season was nothing short of spectacular, arguably his best since 2007, and perhaps even his most impressive season at age 44. He set a new career high with 5,316 passing yards, ranking as the 3rd best single season total in NFL history, with 43 touchdown passes, the 2nd most of his career, along with just 12 interceptions. He led the league in both categories. Although there were whispers about Brady's retirement during the 2021 playoffs, the star QB waited till February 1st to announce his retirement on social media. But the story didn't end there. Just as fans were coming to terms with his departure, Brady had a change of heart. On March 13th, he revealed that he was unretiring and returning to the Buccaneers for his 23rd NFL season. No grand fanfare, just a simple tweet stating that he still had more football in him, instantly shifting the narrative of Tampa's offseason. Where have we seen something like that before?
When you made the decision, Michael, to come back this season, and there were 82 games of possibility lying ahead of you, what did you envision this season would look like?
Well, I thought we could have a really positive season.
Brady's final NFL season was just as notable for its off-field drama as it was for his on-field achievements. He missed nearly 2 weeks of training camp for personal reasons, and by September, reports began circulating about marital issues with Gisele Bündchen. The couple officially announced their divorce in late October, coinciding with the Buccaneers' rocky start at 3-5. While reports suggested that Brady was finding his footing again late in the season, that resurgence never translated into wins. Tampa Bay finished the year with an 8-9 record, clinching the weak NFC South, but marking Brady's first losing season in his illustrious career. The offense struggled to find its rhythm as Brady faced the challenges of aging and a deteriorating offensive line. The burden fell squarely on the shoulders of the 45-year-old quarterback who led the league with 733 pass attempts and 490 completions. Despite throwing for an impressive 4,694 yards, his touchdown rate dipped to a career low, and his passer rating fell significantly compared to his first 2 seasons in Tampa. In the wild-card round, the Buccaneers faced a disappointing 31-14 home defeat against the Cowboys. This game marked the end of Brady's legendary career, with his final touchdown pass going to Cameron Brate. His last throw in the NFL was a 4th down incompletion to Julio Jones, a bittersweet ending to a legendary career. And exactly 1 year after his first retirement announcement, Brady took to social media once again to officially call it a career, saying this time he was retiring for good. In a short, heartfelt video, he thanked everyone for their unwavering support throughout the years. Brady walked away from the NFL with an insane number of records. He is the all-time leader in passing yards at 89,214 and passer touchdowns at 649. With 277 wins under his belt and 3 MVP titles, his legacy is cemented as the greatest quarterback of all time. Brady really wasn't pretty to look at on the field. His throw wasn't special, and he didn't possess raw athleticism. But what he lacked in those areas, he more than made up for in high football IQ and insane pocket awareness. If you like this video, subscribe and touch down the notification bell for more NFL content.
Montana was the best of the best. I got to give it up now. I mean, it's Tom Brady.